Hey everyone, it's Shun here again with yet another upcoming anime lineup video, this time for the new upcoming season of Spring 2018. Keeping the intro short for these as usual, so we'll have more time getting excited for the new shows. I just have one thing to say though before I start. This season is going to be so good, this one especially. And for those of you who frequent my channel, you know I rarely ever say this at first, but I can almost guarantee that the anticipation is going to be overwhelming. First off is Persona 5, the animation, will be an anime adaptation of the game Persona 5. The story follows a group of teenagers who at first were alone in the world, who realized the corruption and danger within it, full of oppression and injustice. In order for them to break away from the very system that enslaves them, they have become Persona users and formed a group called the Phantom Thieves, or Kaitodan. These individuals have realized that society forces people to wear masks to protect their inner weaknesses, and they must themselves discard it to unleash their personas to awaken their inner power. With this power, they will use it to change society for the better. The game itself was just amazing. As someone who has played through the entirety of it, honestly one of the best games I've ever played. In fact, I would recommend that you should play the game first before watching the animation. You have at least 1 month. Anime by A1 Pictures. This airs on April 8th.
Persona 5 The Animation.
Boku no Hero Academia Season 3, or My Hero Academia Season 3, will be a direct sequel to the second that will cover the forest school trip arc from the manga. Considering Season 2 managed to surpass everyone's expectations compared to the first, this third season will surely do the same as well. Anime by Bones, the third season starts airing on April 7th. Tokyo Ghoul RE. 2 years have passed since the CCG's raid on Anteiku. Although the atmosphere in Tokyo has changed drastically due to the increased influence of the CCG, ghouls continue to pose a problem as they've begun taking caution. To counteract this, a team is formed led by Heisei Sasaki, trained by Kisho Arima, and made by Studio Pierrot. This series starts airing on April 3rd. Shokugeki no Soma Sa no Sara, Toutsuki Ressha-hen, or Toutsuki Train Arc, is the second part of the third season of Shokugeki no Soma Sa no Sara. Really looking forward to this new part, seeing as how the ending of the first played out. Anime by JC Stat, this starts airing on April 9th. Sword Art Online Alternative Gale Online will be an alternate setting to Sword Art Online 2, taking place in the same game as the first arc. The story follows a group of characters outside the main cast of the original Sword Art Online series, like Kirito, Asuna, and Shinon. It mainly follows a girl named Karen Ko Hirorimaki, who is an extremely tall college student in real life. Due to her extreme height, she has difficulties and insecurities in dealing with people in the real world, so she enters Gale Online as the player Ren, who is a very short and slender little girl. She meets another female player named Pito Hui and end up playing together in squad battles. Although it's not the main Sword Art Online story that we all know of, I think it has the potential to be an interesting watch with its new alternative story. Just like Persona 5, I would recommend you play the game Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet while or before you watch the series, as it might enhance your experience in both. This will be animated by Studio 3Hertz instead of the usual A1 Pictures, so artistically it may differ a little. This will air on April 8th. Gegege no Kitarou. The story centered on an inhuman boy who lives between the lines of the human world and the supernatural worlds. Animated by Toei Animation, this starts airing on April 1st. Niru Admirari no Tenbin. In an alternate timeline, Japan's Taisho era lasted until 1936, instead of ending in 1926. During this time, the heroine agrees to an arranged marriage to save her family's honor, but before following through, her brother commits suicide by fire while holding an old book. This girl then gains the ability to use auras and allows her to see what is usually invisible to humans. She begins to be led into darkness and depravity. Animated by Zero G, this starts airing on April 1st. Amai Chobatsu, Watashi wa Kanshu Senyo Petto. The story set in a prison in the near future revolves around Saotome Hina, imprisoned despite her innocence, and the elegant yet sadistic guard Myojin Aki. Hina's heart and body are at the mercy of Myojin's heartless yet sweet dominion, from physical examinations to lovers' prison visits. Yeah, I know, it's those kinds of shows again. And made by Magic Best, this starts airing on April 2nd. Uma Musume Pretty Derby. Uma Musume means horse girls and will be an anime series based off the mobile game. No synopsis was released yet, but based on the game, it will generally be about girls endowed with excellent running capability and who aim to become top idols and compete in a national sports entertainment show. It's pretty much just about horse girls running. This will be animated by PA Works. You may know their works from Nagino Asakata, Shirobako, or Sakura Quest, and this will air on April 2nd. Beyblade Burst Chouzetsu. Yeah, just another Beyblade series, anime about Urantala and magic. This airs on April 2nd. Puzzle and Dragon, the anime story set in the present day and centers on Taiga Kaishi, a passionate boy who is aiming to become #1 in the world of professional gaming. This will be animated by Studio Pierrot and air on April 2nd. Omae wa Mada Gunma o Shiranai can translate to You Don't Know Gunma Yet. The comedy manga centers on Nori Kamitsuki, who moves from Chiba Prefecture to a fictionalized version of Gunma Prefecture northwest of Tokyo. And the story focuses on Gunma's culture, hence the title. Animated by Asahi Production, this starts airing on April 2nd. Mahou Shoujo Ore. This story is about a 15-year-old girl who is a newbie idol in love with her best friend's brother, who is also a popular idol. Her love interest gets kidnapped by demons that look like muscular men with cute squirrel heads. So she contracts a Yakuza guy who used to be a magical girl mascot to become a magical girl, which in this story means she turns into a handsome guy in a magical girl outfit. On top of that, her love interest shows an attraction towards a magical guy form. Her best friend turns out to be in love with her and also becomes a magical cross-dressing guy to save her life. Just from hearing that, you can't really tell the setting is just ridiculous. I don't know what to expect from this. And made by Pierrot Plus, this starts airing on April 2nd. Kakuriyo no Yadomeshi, female college student Aoi, inherited her deceased grandfather's ability to see Ayakashi. One day while Aoi is feeding some Ayakashi, a demon appears. He declares that Aoi's grandfather owed a great debt, and as compensation, Aoi must marry the demon. She refuses and instead decides to pay off the debt by working, and made by Gonzo. This starts airing on April 2nd. Uchuu Senkan Tiramisu. The human race extended its life field and greed to the vast reaches of space. In Space Era 0156, a war breaks out amidst all the colonies in space. Earth begins to construct a new space battleship called Tiramisu in secret. Just as the war begins, one genius pilot steers the Tiramisu as humanity's hope, and made by Gonzo. This airs on April 3rd. Captain Tsubasa is the passion story of an elementary school student whose thoughts and dreams revolve almost entirely around the love of soccer. 11-year-old Tsubasa Ozora started playing soccer at a very young age, and while it was mostly just a recreational sport for his friends, for him it became something of an obsession. A passion that would take him to new competitions and the FIFA World Cup that he dreamed of. And made by David Production, this starts airing on April 3rd. Gundam Build Divers. In the near future, Gunpla battles are held in a new massive multiplayer online game called Gunpla Battle Nexus Online, where players immerse themselves and their Gunpla in a virtual world and battle other players around the world. And made by Studio Naya with Sunrise DID for CG production, this starts airing on April 3rd. Ginga Eiyu Densetsu. I honestly don't know how to say this. Dianaides Kaiko. I think this is German. I don't speak German, so sorry for those of you who do. In humanity's distant future, two interstellar states, the Monarchic Galactic Empire and the Democratic Free Planets Alliance, are embroiled in a never-ending war. The story focuses on the exploits of two rivals as they rise to power and fame within the two states. And made by Production IG, this starts airing on April 3rd. Tachibana-kun Triangle. The title is supposed to be play on words for a triangle. When Natsuno Hanabi went back to her hometown to study in high school, she thought that she would have a new wonderful life. But Tachibana-kun, the dormitory she was going to live in, was not what she expected, as she ends up stuck between her childhood friend and a mysterious girl. This series will be animated by creators Impact and Studio Links and airs on April 4th. Lupin the Third Part 5. In the new series, Lupin will travel to France, the home of his grandfather and namesake, Maurice LeBlanc's Master Thief character, Arsène Lupin. Animated by Telecom Animation Film, this starts airing on April 4th. 3D Kanojo, Real Girl. Tsutsui Hikari is a 2D otaku, and he mostly avoids social life. Hikari only has one friend at school who is also a social misfit, and he is always being mocked by most of his classmates for being creepy and weird. One day, he ends up having to clean the school pool with Igarashi Aroha, who is described as beautiful and popular at their school. One thing led to another, and she becomes Hikari's girlfriend. Animated by Hoods Entertainment, this starts airing on April 4th. Alice or Alice, Shiska Nisan to Fudaku no Imoto. This story gives a look at the daily life of a pair of Alice twins and their older brother who has a sister complex. This will be a look at a heartful daily life of the cute Alices. Made by EMT Squared, this starts airing on April 4th. Juushinki Pandora. The new series is set in a near future world where the boundary between human being and AI is vague. A rapid biological evolution is caused by one incident. This incident turns into a genesis of a new struggle for supremacy, and the influence of the evolution goes beyond biological framework. The characters in this story fight an existential war in this world. Made by Satellite, this starts airing on April 4th. Aikatsu Friends is a new Aikatsu anime series that will center on a new protagonist, Aina Yuki, who is good at making friends and enrolls in Star Harmony Academy. She befriends Mio Minato, who is the school's top idol and becomes an idol as well. Made by BN Pictures, this starts airing on April 5th. Tada-kun wa koryo shinai. In this story, Mitsuyoshi Tada, a boy who has never known love, is taking pictures of the cherry blossoms in full bloom when he meets Teresa Wagner, a transfer student from Luxembourg. Upon arriving in Japan, she got lost, separated from her travel companion. Mitsuyoshi helps her and brings her to his grandfather's coffee shop. Sounds like a pretty interesting romantic story with a setting of studying abroad as the main undertone. Made by Dokokobo, this starts airing on April 5th. Comic Girls. Moeta Karuko is a 15-year-old high school student and mangaka who goes by the pen name Chaos. After ranking at the bottom of a reader survey, Karuko's editor recommends that she enters an all-female dormitory for manga creators. Karuko's roommates are shoujo manga creator Koizuka Koyume, teen romance manga creator Irokawa Ruki, and shonen manga creator Katsuki Tsubasa. These girls support each other as they work to become better manga creators. Made by Nexus, this starts airing on April 5th. Megalo Box. Junk Dog participates in fixed boxing matches in an underground ring in order to live. Today he enters the ring again, but he encounters a certain person who wants to take on a challenge that risks everything. This will be the 50th anniversary project based on the manga Ashita no Jo, and made by TMS Entertainment. This starts airing on April 6th. Saredo Tsumibito wa Ryuu to Odoru dances with the dragons. Gaius and the beautiful but cruel sword wielder Gigina are special equationists, individuals that manipulate the equations that govern the world's laws, called spell equations. These two bounty hunters are caught up in a battle of dragons in the city of Eridana and takes on requests from clients. Made by Seven Ox Pictures, this starts airing on April 6th. Lost Song. Rin, an energetic girl who loves to eat, lives in a verdant frontier village. Deep within the royal palace in the bustling capital city, the songstress Fenice spends her days in solitude. Both share a special power that can heal wounds, create water, and stir the wind through the power of song. Guided by destiny, the two girls each face an arduous journey as the shadow of war looms over the kingdom, tainting even the miraculous songs with the blood of innocence. Animated by Dowango and Liden Films, this starts airing on April 7th. Inazuma Eleven Eres no Tenbin will be set in a parallel world taking place after the events of the first game, and develop the story from the perspectives of 3 protagonists. Anime by Until I Am Magic, this starts airing on April 6th. Hinamatsuri. A strange object falls on the head of Nita, a member of the Yakuza. Inside the box is a strange young girl named Hina. She has tremendous supernatural powers, and Nita finds himself reluctantly taking her in. Her powers can come in handy for his Yakuza business, but he also runs the risk of her using them on him. In addition, if she doesn't use her powers, she will eventually go berserk and destroy everything around her. Anime by Field, this starts airing on April 6th. Akun to Kanojo. The romantic comedy follows the everyday life of an extremely tsundere boy named Atsuhiro Kagari, or Akun, and his girlfriend Non Katagiri, or Nontan. Akun's behavior is harsh towards Nontan with verbal abuse and neglect, but he actually likes her and frequently stalks her. Nontan is oblivious to Akun's stalker ways and thinks his actions are cute, weirdly enough. This series will be animated by Yumenta Company and airs on April 6th. Lost Storage Conflated Recross is a new Recross anime series that will be the sequel to Lost Storage Insider Recross. Animated by JC Stat, this starts out on April 7th. Nobunaga no Shinobi, Hanegawa Ishiyama-hen, will be a sequel to the Ise Kanegasaki-hen, animated by TMS Entertainment. This starts out on April 7th. Mahou Shoujo Site, or Magical Girl Site. Asagiri Aya is a girl who is a victim to being bullied at school and at home. One day, mysterious website Mahou Shoujo Site flashes on her computer screen and welcomes her to the Mahou Shoujo world. Little does she know that this world is a deadly one of the Mahou Shoujo apocalypse where one must fight to stay alive against killing machines with magical powers. Animated by Production DOA, this starts out on April 7th. Major 2nd. Daigo is born as the son of Goro, a father who is too great. Forced to follow in the shadow of him, he must make his own path in baseball. Animated by NHK Enterprises, this starts airing on April 7th. A Mantra Advanced is the 2nd season of A Manchu, animated by JC Stat, this airs on April 7th. Devil's Line. Anzai, half vampire, and Tsukasa, a normal schoolgirl. Vampires seem to be living among humans. The government does not know of their existence because their appearance does not differ from humans. They also do not need to drink blood, but when they get a craving or get angry, they can become uncontrollable monsters. Met by Platinum Vision, this starts airing on April 7th. Hosoki no Reitetsu Season 2 Part 2 will continue from the first part from last fall. Animated by Studio Dean, this starts airing on April 8th. Koneko no Chi Pamporo Daidoku 2 is the 2nd season of the Koneko no Chi anime series, animated by Marza Animation Planet. This airs on April 8th. Waka Okami wa Shogakse, or The Young Innkeeper, is a grade schooler, centers around Oko, an elementary schoolgirl who lost her parents in a traffic accident. She moves to her grandmother's hot spring inn and trains to run it. She gradually grows up with the help of a ghost and other mysterious friends. Animated by DLE and Madhouse, this airs on April 8th. Latent Mystery Tanteisha Katari no Nazutoki Faru. The story is set in London and follows Catriel as she solves mysteries with her talking dog Cheryl. Animated by Liden Films, this airs on April 8th. Kirato Puri-chan. First-year middle school girls Mirai Momoyama and Demo Moragi are 2 aspiring idols who decide to use the Puri-chan system to broadcast content. Like many girls who are doing this, the pair decide to become their own producers, starting their own channel and intend to become Puri-chan idols. Animated by Tatsunoko Productions and Dongwoo A&E, this starts airing on April 8th. Cutie Honey Universe from the 1973 manga follows Cutie Honey, an android created by Professor Kisaragi. When he is murdered by an organization seeking the device within her, she vows to attain revenge. Animated by Production Read, this airs on April 8th. Caligula. Mobius is a perfect digital world for the imagined benefit of humanity by Mew, a virtual idol program that attained self-awareness. Only humans who are suffering in the real world and strongly related to Mew's songs are lured into Mobius. Once they enter, people often forget that the real world exists. Regardless of age or gender, they are turned into students and forced to experience school life over and over, which Mew considers the most radiant time in a person's life. Animated by Satellite, this starts airing on April 8th. Piano no Mori. Kaya was born as the son of a prostitute, and he's been playing the abandoned piano in the forest near his home ever since he was young. Shuhei, on the other hand, was raised his whole life to play the piano as the son of a family of prestigious pianists. Yet, it is their common bond with the piano that eventually intertwines their past and life. Animated by Fukushima Gainax, this starts out on April 9th. Binan Koko Chikyu Borebu Happy Kiss is a sequel to Binan Koko Chikyu Borebu Love Love. I did not like saying that title. Looks super interesting, it's not for me though, maybe you like it. Animated by Comet, this airs on April 9th. Jikken-hin Kazoku, Creature's Family Days. A scientist couple has been arrested for conducting illegal studies, allegedly for performing genetic modification on 5 of their children. The youngest child is the only one who grew up as a normal human, and now has to tend the rest of his family while trying to find a medicine to turn them into normal humans again. Not sure completely if this is the animation studio, but one that goes by Big Firebird will be animating this series and will air on April 9th. Golden Kamui. In Hokkaido, the far northern lands of Japan, Sugimoto survived the Russo-Japanese War of the Meiji era. Nicknamed Sugimoto the Immortal during the war, he now seeks the riches promised by the gold rush in hopes of saving the widowed wife of his now deceased comrade from the war. Made by Geno Studio, this starts airing on April 9th. Lady Sport, or Lady Sports, is an original anime series where various pro sports bounty hunters fight each other in sporting events. The story centers on Arigeri, Korupi, and Sabina, 3 women in a team who participate in various sports. No animation studio announced, but this will air on April 9th. Sultan no Ken Regenesis. It is just before World War II. Kasumi Kenshiro hides as a quiet, absent-minded professor, teaching literature at a small women's college in Tokyo. Once the 62nd Grandmaster of Hokuto Shinken, or God's Fist of the North Star, who preserved the peace in the City of Devils, Kasumi seeks anonymity and a quiet life until the death of his lover and former brothers forces him to return to Shanghai to avenge their deaths. And made by Polygon Pictures, this airs on April 10th. Fumi Kirijikan tells a story of short stories about conversations young women have while waiting at railroad crossings. I mean, yeah, that's it. It's a slice of life, so what do you expect, right? Anime by Kachi Eperuka, this airs on April 10th. High School DD Hero is the 4th season of High School DD. I know for those of you who keep up this series, this season is going to be pretty fun for you. And made by Passione, this starts airing on April 10th. Rokuhodo Yotsuyodo Biori. 4 men, Gure, Sui, Tokitaka, and Tsubaki, each help run a Japanese tea shop called Rokuhodo. They are always greeted warmly, is served with tea, and are often helped with any problems they may have. And made by Zexus, this starts airing on April 10th. Last period, Owari Naki Rasen no Monogatari. Period are called magic users who beat Spiral, monsters that were summoned from isolation. Due to the rise of these beings, 14-year-old apprentice Haru, who is one of these magic users, is a part of the 8th arc End Division and is called to break the cycle and cast himself into the endless battle. And met by JC Stat, this starts airing on April 12th. Butlers, Chitose Momotose Monogatari. Koma Jinguji is the smart and handsome student council president, and Tsubasa Hayakawa is a multi-talented and gentle shop assistant at a cafe. The two men travel through time to fight their arch-enemy, the charming Butlers as they are called, and fight supernatural battles. This is a comedy, by the way, and met by Silverlink. This starts airing on April 12th. Hisone Tomasotan, straightforward and innocent Hisone Amakas, is a self-defense force rookie stationed at the Air Self-Defense Force's Gifu base. She was struggling with the fact that she sometimes hurts people unintentionally by her innocent words and decided to join the Air Self-Defense Force, hoping to maintain a certain distance from people. This decision led her to a fateful encounter which profoundly changed her life, as she would discover a fate of being a dragon pilot. And made by Bones, this starts airing on April 13th. Otaku ni kora muzakashi. Or love is hard for an otaku. After discovering that they work at the same company, a gaming-crazed otaku and a fujoshi meet each other for the first time since middle school. After some post-work drinking session, they begin dating. Anime by A1 Pictures, this starts airing on April 13th. Yokai Watch Shadow Side is a new Yokai Watch anime series. Anime by Orange Lion Magic, this starts airing on April 13th. Full Metal Panic Invisible Victory is a new Full Metal Panic anime series since the second raid. Originally it was supposed to air last fall but was delayed to this spring. This will be animated by Zebic, which is a different studio than the previous seasons and will air on April 13th. Doreku Bokuto Nijusan ni no Dore, the animation. What if you could enslave anyone you ever wanted? Don't answer that, I actually don't want to know. Well, this comes close. The SCM lets you enslave anyone who is also wearing an SCM for a price. One must win over someone in order to enslave them. And made by TNK and Zero G, this starts airing on April 14th. A new Cardfight Vanguard series that will recount the story and lead characters from the first manga by Akira Ito, anime by Oriental Light Magic. This airs on May 5th. To Be Hero 2 is the second season of To Be Hero. No synopsis has been revealed yet, but like the first season, it will be animated by Highliners Animation. From this series onward, the remaining series will air sometime in April as well, as no set dates have been announced for those series, at least up to the date of the making of this video. Gurezeni. This is the story of Natsunosuke Honda, a pro baseball player relief pitcher who has been playing pro in a team called Spiders for 8 years. In this profession, the player's performance determines his annual salary. Natsunoka is one of the highest paid players in the game. This will be animated by Studio Dean. And lastly for the anime series, Steins Gate Zero, an alternate ending to Steins Gate that leads with the eccentric mad scientist Okabe struggling to recover from a failed attempt at rescuing Kirisu. He decides to give up and abandons his lively scientist alter ego in pursuit to forget the past. He eventually gets pulled back into the past by meeting an acquaintance of Kirisu, who tells him that they have begun testing a device that stores the memory of a human and creates a simulation of them that is almost the same as the real human in every way. Okabe begins testing that device, but has brought back anguish as he experiences a simulation of Kirisu. As with the previous Steins Gate series, this will be animated by White Fox. This concludes the anime series for this season. Next I'll move on to the upcoming films. Keep in mind that these are theatrical releases only. To start things off, Bungo Stray Dogs Dead Apple. The film's story involves a mystery case of power users around the world suddenly committing suicide one after another. In all cases, after a strange fog appears at the scene. At a request from Ango Sakaguchi, the armed detective agency head out to investigate Tatsuhiko Shibusawa, a power user who calls himself Collector, and a man suspected of being tied to the incident. And made by Bones, this film premieres on March 3rd. Doraemon Movie 38. Man, there's a lot. Nobita no Takadajima. In this movie, Doraemon, Nobita, Shizuka, Gian, and Tsuneo set out on an adventure in the Caribbean Sea. And made by Shina Animation, this premieres on March 3rd as well. Just like last year, the anime Tamago is a project that makes its return. This time we have 4 films: Engimon, Midnight Crazy Trail, Milky Panic 12, and Time Driver, Bokura ga Kaita Mirai. For those that don't know what it is a part of the Young Animator Training Project, funded by the Japanese government to support the training of young animators. If you're kinda curious, one of the reasons for the support is due to the concern of more Japanese animation being outsourced overseas, which leads to a decline in opportunity within the industry. And these 4 are the film projects for this year. Engimon will be animated by Studio Nanahoshi, and Usagi O. Midnight Crazy Trail by Bikona Creative Studio, Milky Panic 12 by Tomasin, and Time Driver Bokura ga Kaita Mirai by Imagica Imageworks and Robot. All these will premiere on March 10th. Precure Superstars, another Precure film of course. The film will center on the characters of the Hug-Toll Precure television anime series, and will also feature characters from Kira Kira Precure a la mode, as well as Mahou Girls Precure. And made by Toei Animation, as always, this film premieres on March 17th. Servamp movie Alice in the Garden will be a film of the main series Servamp. Not too much has been revealed yet, but the film's story will deal with Misono Arisu's past. And made by Platinum Vision, this film premieres on April 7th. Crayon Shin-chan Movie 26, Bakumori Kung Fu Boys, Ramen Taidan. The Kung Fu action film will be set in a Chinatown named Aya Town in Kusakabe, Saitama, and made by Shina Animation. This premieres on April 13th. Mutante Conan or Detective Conan Movie 22, Zero no Shikokunin or Zero's Executioner. In the film story, there is a sudden explosion at Tokyo Summit's giant edge of ocean facility. The shadow Toru Amudo, who works for the National Police Agency Security Bureau as Zero, appears at the site. The character is known as Kogoro Mori's apprentice. Kogoro is arrested as a suspect in the case of the explosion. Conan conducts an investigation to prove Kogoro's innocence, but Amudo gets in his way. And made by TMS Entertainment and V1 Studio, this premieres on April 13th. Digimon Adventure Tadai 6, Bokura no Mirai, or Chapter 6, Our Future, will be the 6th and final movie in the Digimon Adventure Tadai film series. And made by Toei Animation, this premieres on May 5th. Puripada and Kirata Puri-chan movie Kira Kira Memorial Live. The film will feature characters from the earlier Pretty Rhythm games and anime, as well as Puripada, Idol Time Puripada, and the upcoming Kirata Puri-chan anime series. And made by 10 Gauge, this premieres on May 5th. Godzilla Kesenkiro Zo Shokutoshi is a sequel to the first movie Godzilla Kaiju Wakuse. This sequel will feature Godzilla Earth vs Mechagodzilla, animated by Polygon Pictures. This premieres on May 18th. Uchuu Senkan Yamato Nisen ni Ai no Senshitachi Movie 5 Rengoku-hen is the 5th part of the Uchuu Senkan Yamato Nisen ni film series. And made by Zebek, this premieres on May 25th. Code Geass Hangyaku no Lelouch 3, Odo, or Code Geass Lelouch of the Rebellion Emperor, is the last of 3 films compiling the Code Geass Hangyaku no Lelouch TV anime series. I was told that these film compilations also contain new footage and not the original series, so it might be interesting to watch it if you watched the TV series already. And made by Sunrise, this film premieres on May 26th. Haikata-san ga Toru, Movie 2, Tokyo Dai Roman, is the sequel to the first movie with the subtitle Benny Hana no Junanasai. And made by Nippon Animation, this film is estimated to premiere this season, but no day has been disclosed yet. Lastly, Rizu to Aoi Tori, translated as Liz and the Blue Bird, is a side story of the anime series Hibige Euphonium or Sound Euphonium. It will be the first of 2 new anime films in the Hibige Euphonium franchise. The film will tell a new story of 3rd-year students Nozumi Kasaki and Mizura Yoroizuka, a most likely very beautiful film animated by Kyoto Animation. This film will premiere on April 21st. This concludes this video of the anime lineup for spring 2018. As always, I hope you found this helpful in deciding what you want to watch for next season, and would also like to hear what you yourself are looking forward to. Honestly, this is a very good looking lineup for this season, especially for continuation series that are making their return from both a couple years ago, as well as those from a season or 2 ago. Just to give you a few of my personal favorites from the more popular ones, the top few I'm looking forward to are probably Persona 5, the new My Hero Academia, Shokugeki no Soma seasons, as well as Tokyo Ghoul RE. I'm also curious of what y'all are eager to watch. Leave a comment below, and I'm sure others will want to know as well. Don't forget to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Rizu to Aoi Tori.